Today is the last day of class, knowledge-based marketing. I'm curious what students are going to tell us and share with us what they have learned in this exciting semester. Success, thanks.
We want to tell you something about why we think subjective height matters, and we'll talk about the relationship between power and height. So the first example we want to give is hand on top. This means when somebody puts his hand on somebody's shoulder or on the head. So we see Michael Phelps and a teammate of him after an individual race at the 2008 Olympics. Michael Phelps is the more superior one, and you can see this since he's touching the head of the other person. So here you can see that by using touch, your subjective height is actually more, and therefore the perceived power changes. A handshake can say something about your personality or attitude, but it also can really demonstrate trust. So for instance, you have your double-hander handshake. It's quite popular. It means that the person that has a hand on the top, in this case Thomas has his hand on the top, is often perceived as most powerful. Now the more the hand goes up, and thus the higher the hand is, the more power this shows. So in this way you can see that through touch or body language, your subjective height is higher, and therefore also perceived power is more, even though Thomas is objectively less tall.
Let's go to another mean of showing, let's say, power, and on the other side, giving the other person more power. Historically, we've always seen that people establish relationship of superior and inferior persons by means of, let's say, raising or lowering your heat. We see, like here, it's a picture from the 80s, from the Pope, what at the time where before we introduced the Pope mobile. So at that time, he was still carried in his chair on people's shoulders. So immediately everyone could see, even while he was still seated, that he's being more powerful than everyone else, being higher than everyone else. Finally, we would like to give some implications for the field that is most important to us, sales and marketing. We believe that it's not very clever to immediately show that you are the most powerful person in the room, but maybe being more modest and maybe, let's say, try to pay attention to how powerful the other person perceives you. Let's say the other person is doing the double-hander, then you can immediately recognize in what kind of a relationship you find yourself with your opponent. So thank you all for your attention, and we look forward to your questions.